Wichita, Kansas, a city with a population of over 400,000 people. And a lot of those people are artists. As someone who has lived in this city for many years, I can honestly say that Wichita, Kansas has blossomed into something really special. One way that I've seen it grow is seeing how this city embraces the arts. Creativity is all around us everywhere we look, and behind every new installation lies the heart of an artist.
The arts do a great job of reflecting who we are as a society. We used to have a thing called the Artist Access Grant, was for developing artists. It really wasn't functioning the way it needed to function.
So we're no longer calling it the Artist Access Grant, we're calling it the Activation Grant. So not only as an individual artist can you apply for professional development, going to a conference, doing marketing, things like that, you can apply just to make art. So if you've got a great project that you want to make and the funding is a little outside your capability, you can apply for funding as part of this program. We have 11 reviews for each application, so we have 11 members on the Cultural Funding Committee. I average those scores and I average the recommended funding, and then we sort of build what the final award will be from that. We often look for a variety of applications, but for the most part, we just are looking for people who know what they want to do and they've got a plan, and we can just come in and say, yes, we'll help you with that. So at the end of the year, we send them a form that they fill out. We just call it their annual report, and they'll just write us another short little narrative saying what they used the funding for, how it helped them, what they think they're going to do moving forward now that they have this professional development opportunity that they've completed. When one artist does it, they tell their friends that they got the funding, and then the friends start to be interested in applying, and it just sort of spreads out from there. If any artist out there has an idea, pursue professional development, or they think they need it, you can always check out wichita.gov/arts for our grant application announcements.
What's impressive where we are right now is the amount of support that the city and just the community as a whole are seeing. There's more opportunities for people looking for art now. There's more opportunity for artists to create and develop and grow.
Today, we spotlight 3 different artists who took advantage of this grant opportunity this past year. Our first stop takes us to an experienced cello player who isn't afraid to learn something new.
My name is Cody Flory Robertson, and I am a cellist. I teach both cello and bass, and I'm also an artist. I do photography and painting and other media, but my main primary art is music. My wife and I have been in Wichita since 2011. She plays the oboe, and I play cello, so we're cellobo with a capital O. So we write songs, we perform tangos, we're doing some jazz. It's been a lot of fun. I was looking for also ways to become more proficient at different styles of music than classical, which is how I was trained. So Creative Strings was a really great way to expand that. Creative Strings, an organization that teaches eclectic styles of music and improvisation to string players as well as educators. Was hoping to do the retreat in person, but it was costly, so it was kind of a cost inhibiting factor. But the grant opportunity seemed like a good way to make that affordable. I became aware of the grant in 2023. I never applied for a grant before, but I went ahead and applied for it. And so I was awarded some money to be able to go to Creative Strings retreat in Asheville, North Carolina. It's a little bit like being a sponge. There's so much to absorb from the people that are there, the teaching, the faculty, really high quality. I mean, somebody said at one point, like museum quality people. Everybody there was amazing. So I learned just a lot of unique ways of looking at structuring music.
So one of the things you learned at your retreat that you just came back from is this new style of playing. I've never seen this before. I didn't even know you could wear a cello like a guitar. So tell me about this and how is it different? How has it changed your style of playing?
It changes it dramatically. So first of all, the angles are different. The main reason that I like this way of playing is that I can actually move around. I'm not locked into sitting in a chair, which works really well for classical playing. But something that happens when you are able to move around a little bit is that you start to learn the music from a new angle. If I play a song that I know, So what I'm doing is I'm actually feeling a different like sensation in my hand as I'm doing that. The bow angle's different, the fingers are different, and it's like it makes it a new instrument. The grant helped my teaching in lots and lots of ways. It's kept me playing my cello a lot more. It helps me to be more light about it and just more enjoying the process. And that also helps my teaching because I'm able to help my students have more fun with what they're doing. So hopefully that is a mutual benefit.
Our second artist is teaching a new generation of people with her chosen medium that dates back thousands of years.
My name is Jing Chen. I am a Chinese teacher at Sunrise Christian Academy. Teaching is so important for especially younger kids to give them a setting where they explore different things. Growing up in China, that's a part of the curriculum. Learn how to write Chinese characters, but also learn some calligraphy. I didn't like it because it's so hard to control. But I'm so glad that my parents and grandparents insist on that. So I started really early to have that good foundation, solid foundation.
Jean explained to me that she hasn't been home to China since 2018. Thanks to the Artist Activation Grant, the funding allowed her to go back and update her knowledge on new techniques of teaching Chinese calligraphy.
So I needed that refreshment. And also a lot of new technology, new methodology. It's old art. So how do you make it alive in nowadays? I was able to immerse myself in conferences and workshops. I went to some schools to see how they are teaching this young generation. I learned so much. I really enjoyed the trip and refreshed my understanding about Chinese calligraphy.
This was a great moment for me, as I was about to experience Jean create a Chinese blessing.
This is two. Which one do you like?
Ooh, I actually like the third one, so we'll pick the third one here.
I think I would use a colorful paper for you.
Okay. What kind of ink do you use? I don't know if I've asked you that yet.
Calligraphy ink. But for little kids, watercolor paints. Also, you can see the structure, right?
Like a house?
They can't be too tight. They can't be too spread out.
Okay. So with the various students that you have taught calligraphy and also just imaging, are they able to catch on pretty quick?
We start them early. You can see the progress at the time they graduate from elementary. They're really good at it. Just for you.
Oh, well, thank you.
So.
Oh, this is so. I think this is like the first time I've actually seen it done like in person.
But a lot of people say that.
Our last grant recipient expresses her art through music and movement.
I'm Aya Hawkins, and I am a dance artist. So I perform, I choreograph, and I teach. I trained in ballet, jazz, contemporary, modern, and hip-hop. So I'm originally from Corona, California. I started dancing when I was 3, and I had competed a bit. Later on, I moved here, so I've been in Wichita since 2018. I always knew I liked dancing, but I wanted to be practical, so I decided to do exercise science, but decided, okay, for my own self, I'm gonna dance because I've always danced, and that kind of prompted me to switch my major entirely. Wichita has a very strong dance team. They have a lot of contemporary dance, musical theater, but there's not a lot of hip-hop. Hip-hop's always been a style that I gravitated towards, and here in Wichita, we have a lot of interest in seeing this type of dance. Since a lot of my training came from the West Coast, that's where a lot of my style comes from. So my goals right now are to develop that more, but there's not really any resources here to learn that, and so why not go to LA? With that, I applied for this grant so that I could just basically go out there and put myself through a week's worth of classes in the different styles that I want to explore more. It helped me feel connected to another side of the dance community. I was able to meet other people in that community and not feel so isolated being here in the Midwest.
I feel like when you watch a professional at work, they make it look easy, because they've spent so much time learning their craft. But what are some of the struggles that you've experienced as a dancer and as a choreographer?
As a dancer, there's always being really self-critical, because all of our bodies are different. So it's just knowing that you're always going to be compared.
Now, going back to this grant that you received, what are some specific things that you learned?
I've learned like little basics on some blocking and popping and seeing how different people hear the music and then set down a piece, meeting your dancer where they're at. So kind of taking consideration what facilities they have in their body, like what can they do? How can I make my stuff also look good on you? How do I adjust it so that it's not just like just my voice? How am I going to collaborate with the dancer to make this piece happen? And in order to be a good communicator with choreography, learning how to teach is really valuable, because I teach 3rd and 4th grade and I teach up to college, and I've taught even just adults to do it recreationally, kind of taking in how do these people teach their classes, because that's kind of helping me see how do I work with these different populations, like different levels, approaching how to describe how to groove. So it's just figuring out how to communicate with all these different people, how to help them listen to music and actually connect with it with their movement.
If you're an artist who is also a Wichita resident and you're needing funding for that new idea or skill, then this may be a possibility for you.
Wichita embraces the arts, and the city needs your creativity.
Just rock.